Grey Knights are the peerless demon-hunting hammers of the Emperor, and on this blasted world, the corrupted Death Guard cannot be allowed to claim victory. This is 40K in 40 minutes. Welcome 40K fans, this is Nicholas filling in for JT as we bring you a classic matchup of the Death Guard commanded by our very own Tycho, the Child of Chaos, versus an often requested army, the Grey Knights. Newly painted and piloted by regular on the channel, Michael Buckthorpe.
Hello everyone, this is Michael Buckthorpe coming to you with a Grey Knights game today.
It has been a very long time coming since we've seen the Grey Knights on our channel, and with the release of the new Agents of the Imperium Codex, it felt like the perfect time to try them out. Michael has been working till the wee hours of the night to bring this army to the table, and boy howdy, do they look good. Ooh, that sounds good. I understand why JT says that so much.
We're going to be playing a game versus my good friend Tycho, who I believe is running the Death Guard. A very, very storied matchup between the two of us.
The Grey Knights will be using their Teleport Strike Force detachment for this Strike Force 1500 point battle. They've brought a Brotherhood Librarian with Sigil of Excellence enhancement, Castellan Crowe, and a Grandmaster in a Nemesis Dreadknight, with the enhancement Domina, Liber, Daemonica. For Battle Line, they have a full Brotherhood Terminator squad and a Strike Squad. He's also bringing another Nemesis Dreadknight with a Demon Greathammer and an extra Purifier Squad. Thematically, he's also bringing some forces from the Inquisition Codex. 10 Arbites in an Exaction Squad that are to be placed in a Chimera, alongside an Inquisitor from the Ordo Maleus.
Grey Knights are all about being very cagey in the movement phase and picking battles and making the opponent have to make awkward choices.
The big heavy hitters in Michael's list are of course the two Dreadknights. They have some amazing shooting and are really good in close combat. The real trick for this army though is the ability to pick up and redeploy multiple times throughout this game. That is going to be key for Michael being able to score points and be able to keep away from those big demons.
I'm really interested to see what Tycho decides to do, as it's kind of one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't with Grey Knights. If you shoot me, I might teleport closer to you. If you move closer to me, I might teleport further away from you.
Oh boy! I'm Tycho, the Child of Chaos, here to bring you the joys of Nurgle. Come, Death Guard, to battle!
Tycho's brought a very classic Death Guard army with the Plague Company today, led by Typhus, and a bunch of Plague Marines, including a Blightlord Terminators, Deathshroud Terminators, 2 Foetid Bloat-Drones, 2 Myphitic Blight-haulers, 2 Plague Burst Crawlers, some Poxwalkers, a Great Unclean One, and some Plague Bearers.
My goal is going to be to overcome the Death Guard's intrinsic slowness and close with him and make sure that he doesn't escape my tender attentions. Come here, Michael, it's hug time.
Tycho's going to be able to flood the board with bodies, and he's got some great deep striking units that can do some real damage. That Great Unclean One has real potential, but I think the true stars of this list are the Plague Burst Crawlers, able to shoot from out of line of sight and some amazing shooting to boot. If they can draw a line of sight, they can really do damage to Michael's army.
I'm gonna have to be careful about closing too close to Tycho's Death Guard, as I really don't want to have to deal with a -1 toughness and weapon skill, ballistic skill, or whatever plague he has concocted. I do have to try and pick my fights and only go in when I'm certain that the counterpunch will not be too great.
Grey Knights, they're tough, they're mean, they dance around, they're gonna be everywhere I don't want them to be, and places I really don't want them to be.
We also have some named characters from our special character tier on Patreon, Zeratrax, the Plasma Gunner from the Plague Marines, and Olidus the Hushed, the Deathshroud Terminator champion. Thank you so much for your support. Deployment is Crucible of Battle, angled short-edge deployment zone with 3 objectives in the middle. The mission we are playing today is Terraform, where players will try to terraform objective markers, possibly scoring them more points throughout the rest of the game. If they can do an action completing in their opponent's turn in an objective in no man's land, they will score 2 points on that objective going forward. They also score 4 points for every objective marker they control. Being able to terraform those objectives early will be key to scoring lots of primary points. The mission special rule for today is Stalwarts. That means battle units can perform an action and are still eligible to shoot and still be in engagement range of 1 or more enemy units. A quick note on terrain, the players have decided that the mid-table small buildings and corner ruins can be moved through by infantry. The crates will block line of sight but are able to be passed over with no penalties to movement.
Pucker up, Michael, here I come! It's for some poxy smooches. I'm ready! The Grey Knights have come, yes.
They've come to erase the stink from this world.
Oh, this stink is not going nowhere.
It is caked in.
Pre-game deployment, the Inquisitor joins the Exaction Squad, going into the Rhino, Castellan Crowe with the Purifiers, and the Librarian with the 10-man Terminators. Tycho's put Typhus attached to the Deathshroud Terminators, the Plague Bearers are deep striking, and both units of Terminators and Typhus will deep strike.
You'll see it here first. Guys, does the new model curse affect an entire army?
Good luck to you.
I got a 3.
I got a 1.
I'm gonna let you deploy first.
I figure.
Holy moly.
Great unclean one.
Jeff is out to play.
The Rhino is deployed on the line, ready to jump forward, possibly ready to take some objectives, but all of the Death Guard are deploying as aggressively as far forward as possible. Tycho may be looking to take early board control and hoping to go first.
So my deployment is going to be very cagey and very crafty. I'm going to try poking my head out with my Grandmaster and the Nemesis Dreadknight in order to try and get some plinking shots with my side cannons. Okay, well, in reply to your Poxwalkers, I'm going to throw my Grey Knight Strike Squad. They are inside the building on this objective back here.
Ah, awaiting a rear charge by demons.
Something like that.
Mr. Hollerman.
All right, Tycho, my last drop, big unit of Purifiers, and I think they have to go over here with Mr. Dreadnight McGee.
Oh, Mr. Drone number 2.
I love it.
There's Pop.
Good.
Ta-da!
Tycho's also choosing his Death Guard ability, Rattle Joint. This reduces armor save to any enemy units in the contagion range of Tycho's units. Michael also chooses the Great Unclean One for the Exaction Squad's ability to get lethal hits against. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends at Frontline Gaming. If you're in North America, Frontline Gaming is your one-stop shop for all of your tabletop gaming needs. Whether it's neoprene battle mats, pre-painted MDF terrain, commissioned paint services, tabletop gaming products, or even events like the world-famous Las Vegas Open, Frontline Gaming is definitely your go-to source. Make sure to check out our affiliate link below in the description, as not only does it support them, but it also supports us. Remember, Frontline Gaming has got your gaming needs covered no matter what you might need. Now, back to the action.
And do you want to go first or second?
I want to go second. I want to show off this uppy-downy Grey Knight.
A 2.
Ah, I got a 4.
You got a 4. You're going first.
first.
Ooh, Michael's going first. He probably did not want that, but this might allow him to try to get some points early on. We'll see what that means. Here we go, turn 1.
Not that one. Oh, okay.
Michael's drawn Containment and Engage in all fronts. Solid first draw for both objectives. Both are achievable for the deployment we're playing with, and Michael's gotta be happy about that. In the command phase, Michael stickies his home objective with his Purifiers and gets ready to move out.
Let's go into the movement phase. I really got to be careful that I don't expose myself too much. My bodies are very, very important. I don't want to sacrifice them unnecessarily. Let's see how this goes.
The Dreadknights get some line of sights for their guns, but stay far behind. The infantry mostly stay hidden. It's a timid movement phase from Michael, but he's got to stay out of sight from those big guns from Tycho and hopefully reduce some charges.
I'm going to start with some shooting. 6 shots hitting on 3s from the Grandmaster Dreadnight into the Blight-hauler.
I save one of them.
9.
He's alive with 1 wound remaining.
Oh no!
Ow!
Next up is going to be Joe Schmo,
Joe
the
Schmo.
regular Dreadnight.
The Dreadnight fires at the Blight-Drone and kills him. However, Tycho spends 1 command point down to 0 to reroll the save. He gets the 5. He lives.
If only I had managed to wound once more, or geez, if I had just been able to get Tycho to fail one of his saves. Super unlucky.
Michael ends his turn having very little to do. However, he scores 3 points on Containment and 2 points on Engage in all fronts, giving him a score of 5 to Tycho's 0. Tycho's turn 1, he draws Recover Assets and Extend Battle Lines. Very solid secondary draw for Tycho, both are doable. Tycho stickies his home objective with his Plague Crawler and starts to move up.
Do you mind moving my Plague Marines up just across the line? They are going to perform the action in the midfield, because technically that's the midfield.
You betcha.
Blight-hauler and drones move up to get line of sights on the Dreadnight. Michael responds with Overwatch for 1 command point into the wounded Blight-hauler, but unfortunately, it doesn't make it through the armor. The rest of Tycho's army moves up, but in general, a pretty timid response by Tycho. He has a lot of shooting, and it looks like he wants to soften up the Dreadknights before closing for the kill.
All right, well, let's start shooting these knights.
Spootin'.
In the shooting phase, the Poxwalkers at the top of the table and the Plague Marines behind the building recover assets.
We're going to do the Myphitic Blight-hauler into the non-Grandmaster, the Dreadnight, the multi-meltas. 2s. Yeah, why not? I'm going to re-roll.
Yeah. Look for 4s. How about 1? 1 goes through. Damage.
All right, unleash hell, Plague Burst Trawler.
True silver armor for -1 AP.
Entropy cannons.
Hiya!
1 hit. That's a 1. Nothing doing.
No!
Mortar.
I go down to 7 wounds remaining.
Lucky time.
Still roll 1.
Same deal into your other Dreadnight.
Okay.
The other Plague Crawler fires at the Grandmaster, but Michael saves all the big guns. It's the little heavy stubber of all things that managed to get 1 wound through. Never count out a stubber, folks. Never count them out.
Myphitic Blight-hauler is going to split fire. He's going to fire his heavy weapons, his missile launcher, and his multi-melta at the Grandmaster. He's going to fire his bile spurt at the Rhino. Here comes the multi-melta.
+1. Nice.
Oh, 6 wounds remaining on the Grandmaster, 9 wounds remaining on the Rhino.
Foetid Bloat-Drone firing at your Dreadnight. Excellent. Boom!
Foetid Bloat-Drone fires in the Dreadnight. 3 1s! Sees the Knight go down! Oh!
I can't believe. Oh.
Foetid Bloat-Drone for the win. Managed to off that Dreadnight. Foetid Bloat-Drone number 2 after your Grandmaster.
Okay.
You've got cover, you're toe in for sure. Blap! 3 wounds and a hit.
The Grandmaster is down to 2 wounds, but he lives.
The last drone can't see him. Gonna go after your Rhino.
Last drone fires at the Rhino, brings it down to 7 wounds. Not enough. Nothing to do in the charge phase, nothing to do in the fight phase. He's a pretty short turn. Michael takes this opportunity to use his special abilities to pull the strike team and the Terminators and Purifiers into reserves. They're gonna be able to come back on the table in Michael's next turn. Tycho's gotta be happy he killed the 1 Dreadnight, but he's gotta be pretty choked that he wasn't able to take the Grandmaster down. Tycho then scores 3 points on recover assets and 5 points on extend, making our score 8-5 at the end of turn 1.
I may have left a little bit of open space in my backfield that may come back to bite me. So I expect some serious pain in round 2.
In Michael's command phase, he passes Battle Shock on the Grandmaster and the Rhino heals a wound. He then draws no prisoners and sabotage, 2 things that Michael can definitely do. Michael scores 4 points on primary for holding his home objective.
You know what the Rhino's gonna do? Is he had that baby in full throttle forward. He took 1 good look at that guy.
Holy moly!
And he went, oh no! Beep, 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 beep.
Reverse!
Turn 2 is looking a little grim. I have to be very cagey in how I play, and I really have to reinforce the idea of picking my fights and applying pressure where I need it to be applied and not worrying too much about the rest of the battlefield.
So he's come forward with his Grand Maester. I don't know if he's going to survive this.
Let's get the party started!
Where?
At the end of the movement phase, the reinforcements start dropping. Purifiers drop in the back, Strike Squad drops far into the backfield to be able to sabotage, and Terminators appear boldly in the center.
We're gonna start off with the Nemesis Grandmaster Dreadnight.
Grandmaster!
In the shooting phase, the Grandmaster fires into the wounded Blight-hauler and destroys him, like Michael probably wishes he did the first turn.
Our Librarian over
Okay.
here
Yep.
is gonna point at this
Foetid Bloat-Drone!
and he's gonna go, Mind Bullet!
Magic powers!
Oh, it's 2d6 mortal wounds! That Bloat-Drone is gone!
We're gonna do the Purifier. So everyone at home, Owen has worked very hard to set up the screen in the back here with all kinds of really fun and exciting things so we can really animate and get excited about it. So what I'm gonna do, Tycho, is I am going to split fire.
Firing most shots into the Poxwalkers and 4 Purifiers into the top Blight-hauler. I fully approve of this action.
My Purifiers are going to try and light up those Poxwalkers. I hate those models. As far as I'm concerned, they can go and burn. I would be happy for that. In fact, I'm gonna make it happen. Flaminators.
9 Poxwalkers die, but there's no damage to the Blight-hauler.
The first one I need to get in is my 7. So 7-inch charge from the Grandmaster Dreadnight.
Onto the charge phase, and the Grandmaster makes its charge into the Bloat-Drone in the center. If he can take him out, this will take the center objective away from Tycho and score him no prisoner points.
We're gonna go to the Terminators. Go. That's a 7.
Ooh.
I actually am not going to reroll, and I'm gonna bank on that I can smoke this guy dead to rights. That's what I'm gonna bank on. I am going to attack with my Dreadnight now. Oops.
Oh, and it bites
However,
you too.
Rerolling.
I only score 1. There's not even a point in rerolling.
The Bloat-Drone is gone, and Michael sits there holding the center objective.
Oh man, Michael managed to just off 3 of my demon engines just like that. Bam, bam, bam. Really good work on that part.
Solid turn for Michael, 5 points on no prisoners for 3 units killed, and he's still sabotaging in the back. If that unit is still on the table at the end of Tycho's next turn, that will score Michael a bunch more points. 14-8 at the end of Michael's turn 2.
All right, pretty decent turn from Michael, and he's got a fancy stratagem, which means that if I get anywhere near his Grandmaster, he's just gonna leave.
Tycho begins his turn 2 by drawing Assassination and Overwhelming Force. There's a juicy Grandmaster Dreadnight in the center that is looking for Tycho's attention.
All I have nearby is big models. I could kind of try and get past the 9 inches, but they're all too much junk in the trunk. So I think I just have to like get real quiet, get real still, make sure that Grandmaster doesn't go anywhere, and then hit him with a Plague Flail.
He scores 12 points. Boom. So everyone at home, we're putting them on top, but they're in the building.
Tycho is seeming quite worried about moving out too much and concerned about the Overwatch from the Dreadnight or the Grey Knight shenanigans. It looks like he doesn't want to risk either the Overwatch or the Grey Knights being able to put themselves into Deep Strike. He brings in his Terminators to shore up the left-hand side of the board, and the Deathshroud Terminators start terraforming the top objective. A unit of Plague Bearers dive into Michael's home objective. 2 can play the sneakiness game.
All right, so we're gonna go right into the shooting. Let's start with the great unclean one. He says, hey, Grandmaster,
Hey,
you are weak.
I got your number.
You are -2 toughness because you are within my aura. Plague Flail. That's 5 shots.
Shooting phase, the Great Unclean One shoots the Grandmaster, but brings it down to only 1 wound.
Plague Burst Crawler is going to fire, split fire, mortar at the Terminators, entropy cannons, and the Sluggard into your Grandmaster. Here's the mortar.
Here. +2. 3. So one of my guys has a single wound remaining.
The Slugger, slug him down.
You don't know the slugger, are you? Here we go.
Oh, so close. 2 entropy cannons.
3s.
That's a wound.
That's 2.
1 CP to reroll the save for the Grandmaster.
Hey, there it is. Nicely done. Plague Marines.
Yes.
They're going to open up all guns. White Launcher is going to open it. Plopper, do it.
Plop, plop.
Oh, he's down by the Plague Marines. The special character Zeratrax pulls it off with the plasma gun. Way to go.
Down he goes. I've got the Grandmaster. That's going to be some big points. I think that's going to be right with that kill. There's 8 victory points in my pocket. Mwah. Okay, now here comes the deluge.
The Deathshroud Terminators split fire into the Purifiers and the Grey Knight Terminators, killing 2 Purifiers and 1 Terminator.
Labor Scrawler unloads.
Into those ones.
Michael spends a command point on True Silver Armor, -1 AP on the Purifiers.
Mortar first, for mortar reasons. 2s.
1 drops.
I can charge.
Where are you charged?
I can make ridiculous charges.
Let's do it.
There's only 1 charge to possibly do on the table, and that's Typhus and the Deathshroud charging the Purifiers. Can he make a massive 11-inch charge? No, he cannot.
Whole bunch of standing around that turn, but I did score big points.
With no other charges this phase, the round is over. Assassination will score him 5 points for killing the Grandmaster, and Michael finishes Sabotage in the backfield to gain 6 points. Michael picks up the Purifiers and the Strike Squads with the Grey Knight special ability and puts them back into strategic reserves. It's like fighting smoke. Tycho still has 2 units terraforming objectives, and if they can hold on to those objectives until Tycho's next turn, it will be very advantageous for Tycho scoring points for every turn thereafter. Score at the end of the round 2 is 28-20 in favor of Tycho. Michael is up on secondary points, but low on primary points. He needs to catch up there. If Tycho can maintain board control, this game will be all but over.
We are in a game right now, and if somebody just walked to this table, they would go, you got a Rhino, and you got a brick of Terminators, and you got a lot of stuff.
And a dream.
And a dream. But for those people, for those naysayers, I say,
Nay, nay.
Nay.
Beginning of Michael's turn 3, he draws Area Denial and Recover Assets. Tycho takes up to 3 command points while Michael sits at 1. Unfortunately for Michael this turn, he scores 0 primary points because Tycho has pushed him off every single objective. He's got to retake his home objective and he's got to take some board control. If he's able to maybe stop some of those terraforming actions, that would be great as well. Let's see what Michael can do in turn 3.
The Terminators are going to bring a model back with my Apothecary. With my handy dandy chart. Put him 3 inches closer to you. Rhino is going to move over yonder.
The Rhino moves up and does the Recover Assets action in his deployment zone while the Exaction Squad gets out with the Inquisitor to try to take back that home objective. Dreadnight Terminators move towards the opposing Death Guard Terminators. It's about to get messy up there.
I think it's better to just take the easy charge and take as much of them as I can off. I'm going to flip the objective back to me with my banner, giving all of my models an OC3. I don't think I'm going to have anything in my pocket to be able to deal with the Foetid Bloat-Drone terraforming the southern objective, but we're going to have to make do with what we can. And then at the end of the turn, I'm going to drop my Strike Squad, and they're going to strike in the middle of the battlefield.
The reinforcements arrive. With a flash, the Strike Squad shows up in the center and recovers assets. The Purifiers deep strike to support the Exaction Squad. The shooting phase sees the Purifiers shoot into the Plague Bearers on the home objective and kill the squad. Objective purified.
The Terminators.
The Librarian fires his Vortex of Doom into the Blight-hauler.
6. 2d3 mortal wounds.
And does 4 mortal wounds. The rest of the Terminators all fire into the Blightlord Terminators. 1 command point for Cloud of Flies down to 2, sees the unit gain -1 to hit.
Okay, well, I'll start off with the Flamers. How many shots? Make about 9 times 4 is 36.
1 Terminator goes down as the Cloud of Flies is just too much.
We are going to charge.
Charge phase, the Terminators declare a charge into the Blightlord Terminators and make it. This shuts down the terraforming that Tycho was doing there and possibly taking that objective away.
So I do get to Overwatch. I also am going to heroically intervene.
Yep. Tycho is spending 1 command point for Overwatch with the Deathshroud Terminators and the Plague Spurt Gauntlets. 1 Terminator goes down to Overwatch.
Counter charge!
Another command point for heroically intervening and the Deathshroud Terminators countercharge the Grey Knights.
Now I have to really think about if I want to split my attacks in order to lessen the amount of damage that's incoming, or if I really want to focus down and see if I can remove the unit of Blightlord Terminators completely from the objective. So Librarian and 5 Terminators are going to go into the Blightlord Terminators.
Yes.
And then 4 of my Terminators are going to go into your Deathshroud Terminators. So 4 attacks from Librarian, hitting on 2s. 4s.
Save them all. Terminators going at it.
4 Blightlords and 2 Deathshroud Terminators fall to the Blades of Titan.
Typhus, kill them.
1 command point on True Silver Armor for -1 AP, hoping to keep those Grey Knight Terminators alive.
Kill. 3 dead Terminators, 3 damage apiece. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Typhus drops 3. Fantastic work, Typhus. That's actually the 4th Terminator he's killed this game. Now for his buddy.
Yep.
He's going to wail away with his regular Old Man Reaper.
Yep.
It's -2. The Flail of Corruption. Flail of Corruption. Oh, he failed. That's 2 wounds.
I think I blunted the swing of the scythe, per se, just enough that I have a little bit of a unit left over. Now I have to see what Tycho is going to do in his turn. I don't think he'll stay in combat with me.
End of the turn sees Tycho terraforming the bottom objective. He's going to score 2 extra points every turn from here on in for that objective. Michael scores 5 points for Area Denial and 3 points on Recover Assets for doing the action in 2 zones. This puts him at 24 secondary, 4 points primary, for a total of 28 to Tycho's 28. We are tied at the halfway point of this game, but Tycho is about to do his turn, and he holds most of the objectives on the table.
Not moving for a whole round in my whole center of my army felt so wrong, but earned me so many points.
Tycho's turn 3, he draws Containment and Sabotage. He passes his Battle Shock test for the Blightlords, and then will score a further 8 points for holding objectives and an extra 2 points for terraforming, bringing his primary points to 22, secondary 16, 38 to 28 for Tycho, 1 command point each. This is close.
He's gonna fall back. Rude. But I think he's just gonna stay on the objective and just Typhus, I think as well, is going to give you just a little bit of room.
Fall back a little bit. Yours. And with that, I'm gonna pick up my strike squad.
Michael spends 1 command point for Mist of Deimos to pick up that unit when Tycho moves close enough to it.
I'm gonna advance the Great Unclean One.
Yes.
The Great Unclean One advances up the field and takes the center.
Go Poxies, go! Ooh!
Word of the day.
Poxwalkers, scatter! Go for it! Get out there, become a cloud of doom. And stand there. Die. Be Poxy.
Plague Marines move forwards to the table edge and perform the contain action on the table edge. The Plague Drones sabotage the building they're on, setting up a great turn for Tycho.
And let's shoot some stuff.
Let's go to the shoot.
We're gonna start with Typhus, because this is not a shoot, this is a magic spell that I'm gonna cast on your Terminators.
In the shooting phase, Typhus kills 1 Terminator with his ability, and then the Myphitic Blight-hauler targets the Terminators. Michael elects to use the Terminator's once per game ability to pick them up and put them into strategic reserves, giving up potentially scoring with those Terminators, but likely saving the unit. Because he can't shoot, Tycho then elects to do the contain action with that unit instead.
He is going to split fire with the Plague Burst Crawler, Rhino, and Exigence, Mortar and Machine Gun versus 2 Entropy Cannons into the Rhino. Entropy Cannons!
Freeze.
Oh, no wounds on the Rhino!
The Mortar of Doom. Mortar. D6 plus 3, I believe. Boom, boom,
4
boom.
guys drop.
The Plague Marines, despite doing the action, are able to use the Stalwart's mission special rule and fire into the Purifiers, killing 2 of them. No charges, no fight phase, sees the end of the turn, and Michael picks up the Purifiers again. Such a powerful ability. Tycho scores 6 points on containment for 2 units doing the action and is waiting on sabotage to see if he can complete it at the end of Michael's turn. 44 to 28 in favor of Tycho. Tycho might be pulling ahead here. Michael, ya gotta catch up.
So I wonder what kind of shenanigans he's gonna try and pull. I have a funny feeling he's got tricks up his sleeve and won't be out of this one yet.
I think I'm falling so far behind on primary that I don't have a glimpse of a glimmer of a hope to catch up to Tycho. I think my best bet is to take on a secret a secret mission.
Folks, I think this is the first time we've seen this on the channel. Michael has chosen to do a secret mission. This limits how many primary points he can score from objective markers, but allows him to have a new way to score primary points.
Tycho? Is he gone? All right, my secret mission today is the War of Attrition card. That's right, I have to take out the battle line units, and I have to make sure that there's a unit from my army in Tycho's deployment zone.
If he can pull that off, by the end of the game, he's gonna score a bonus 20 points on primary scoring.
Start of the turn, I had drawn Storm Hostile Objective and marked for death. You have selected all 3 big chunguses in the middle. My Rhino is gonna heal a point, and I'm gonna check the rules for my Exaction Squad, because they actually heal too, which is super fun, yeah.
Space Wizards!
Yay, 1 dude comes back. Infantry are going to hippity-hoppity.
The Arbites medkit revives one of the Exaction Squad, and they move forward to support the center mission. The Rhino takes the objective, but keeps line of sight for its Hunter-Killer missile on the Plague Burst Crawler.
So I'm gonna try taking out some more of your assets here. So these Plague Marines are public enemy number 1.
Purifiers drop in the back in Tycho's deployment zone and look to target the Plague Marines. Tycho's singular battle line unit. Taking it out would be big.
The Strike Squad.
The Strike Squad also comes down to support. Lastly, but certainly not least, the Terminators drop down near the center. Can they survive and take the center objective? Let's find out.
We're gonna go to the shooting phase.
The shooting phase.
I will open up with my Purifiers.
Okay.
We're gonna purify this disgusting blob of...
Michael starts off the shooting phase by trying to complete his secret mission, shooting the Purifiers at the Plague Marines.
Just 2 dead and a wound.
Okay, these are the bolters now, on 2s, which is really fun.
Make 2, may fail 1.
Done. Now I'm gonna purify you with my flames. 2s.
Oh, wow.
Zeratrak, the Plasma Plague Marine, is the only survivor.
The Plasma Gunner survived, but fantastic. He's gonna be a hero.
The Strike Squad unfortunately can barely see the last Marine, so fires into the Plague Bearers and kills a couple, and the only one that can see the Plague Marine fires.
Psy Cannon time. Well, there's 2 hits. Strength 8, wounding on 3s. Come on, Michael, there's 2 wounds.
So make 2 3-ups?
Can you do
I
it?
just like wreck your day? Is that
You
what's
wreck
happening
my
here?
day.
You know what, I do have a command point.
You do have a command
And
point.
I want to wreck your day.
Here goes. Into
I
a
did
1.
not wreck your day.
Wow, what a guy.
The unit is wiped. Michael is well on his way to completing that secret mission for 20 points.
Mine bullets from the Inquisitor. 6 guys here, 5 of which have shotguns. 1 has a heavy stubber. Fire those first, range 8.
1 command point for Plague of Flies to give -1 AP. No damage into the Plague Burst Crawler.
We're gonna fire the Rhino's Hunter Killer missile, which
The Rhino fires its 1 Hunter Killer missile. It hits. It fails to wound. Shouldn't have called it a missile.
Terminator blob. So first off, Librarian is gonna look at your do mine bullets with a big one. Oh my God, if there was ever a time to do it, it's now. Mubin, can you come bless my dice real quick? I need boxcars.
Just give me the dice. There you go.
All right, then.
Now, is this a dark pact?
This is a dark pact. This is literally a dark pact.
Let's see how you do. Ooh, 7. That's
A
pretty solid.
respectable
5 wounds left to kill it in close combat. That is doable. That unit is very Thunderhammerable.
It's time, it's time, it's
Time,
time.
this is big, this is big, this is big. You need the big 9.
If he can make this charge into the Plague Burst Crawler, he can score some massive secondary points. Oh, the first roll has failed. Of course, 1 command point to re-roll. He's in! But can he kill it?
In the fight phase, let's start off with the Librarian. 2s, no lethal hits. Have a
Sitting on
staff.
3s.
Ooh,
both.
make them both. All right, then we're gonna go to the Terminators.
Oh.
Oh, there's a couple.
The lethal hits make the difference, and the Plague Crawler is down.
The Terminators have taken back the center objective. This is bad. I'm gonna have to kill them. I'm gonna have to kill them all!
There seems to be some Grey Knights surrounded by a lot of angry things. I'm noticing.
With that, he scores 4 points on Storm Hostile and 5 points for Marked for Death. Massive turn, potentially big points. Tycho ever completes Sabotage for 3 points, but he fails to terraform the center as he's been wiped out. Michael is down on primary, but he still has his secret objective. Let's see if the 20 points will make the difference. Tycho's turn 4 draws no prisoners and engage in all fronts. He then scores a whopping 14 points on primary, bringing his score to 61 to Michael's 41. Remember, Michael has the potential 20 points from his secret mission. So it's not over yet, folks. There's still a chance.
Let's do it. It's the Electric Boogaloo.
Although he doesn't know what secret mission Michael has drawn, he can probably guess. It's time to put this game to bed. He's got to kill things and take away what little primary point options Michael has.
End of your movement.
Yes.
They're -1 toughness.
In the shooting phase, the remaining Death Guard Terminator attempts to terraform the top left objective.
Shooting phase time. Let's start with Typhus. Eat a plague. Not
No.
a shot, but it's a thing. Oh no!
Typhus uses his Eater Plague ability into the Terminators, but it backfires. Ouch!
Holler.
Holler, holler.
Meltigans.
Yeah.
2s.
There's 2 4-up armor or volt saves. I rolled double 1s. 2 Terminators drop.
Let's go to the Great Unclean One.
Let's do it.
He is going to barf all over
The Great Unclean One fires at both the Exaction Squad and the Terminators.
some putrid vomit. Oh gosh.
We just 5 up.
2, -2. Flying.
6 up. 4 drop.
And the flail. Hitting on 3s.
6s. Make 1. 2 more drop.
I am going to use my drone,
Yep.
unloading into your Terminators.
Sure.
Heavy Bloat-Drone fires at the Terminators. No good! Burst Crawler splits fire to try to kill the Rhino and the Arbites.
Here we go, entropy cannons.
There it is.
Only 1 hit.
Nope.
Brings the Rhino down to 6 wounds, but doesn't kill any of the infantry.
Well, Mr. Plague Burst Mortar, That was not a complete task on you. It's charging time. Here comes the Great Unclean One.
In the charge phase, the Great Unclean One attempts the charge and makes it into the Arbites. The Crawler charges and tank shocks. No command points left for Tycho, but 6 mortal wounds. Only 1 Terminator and the Librarian left.
Typhus!
Typhus charges in as well for good measure.
He'll run right around the outside, get on the objective.
Yeah.
Hurrah! All right, let's run over you with some armored tracks. Here comes the tank. 2s. 1.
Fail them both. Kill 1, and he's got 3 wounds remaining.
Typhus will pile in.
Yep.
Try and finish the job by himself.
In the fight phase, Typhus tries to kill the Librarian and slaughters them wholesale. 2 kills for no prisoners. The Inquisitor stares down the Great Unclean One. The demon raises its massive blade.
2 at a time, Arbites, 5 up.
And the Arbites are slaughtered. However, the Inquisitor himself stands firm with 3 wounds remaining.
Sadly, the Great Unclean One has been stopped by the Inquisitor. Amazing!
Fighting back, he may not have done any damage, but he is holding off that massive demon from taking his primary objective. Good work.
My pocket sand.
Michael at the end of the turn picks up both his strike team and his purifiers to hopefully score more points in the final turn. The end of the round sees Tycho score 5 more points for no prisoners, 4 more points for engaged in all fronts, bringing his score to 70 to Michael's 41.
Michael has pulled off a secret mission. I'm a little worried. I haven't really taken stock of exactly what the score is here. He may have been able to sneak around and score all the points and win the game.
It's all gonna come down to the 2 cards I draw from my secondaries.
Michael draws Cleanse and Overwhelming Force. Cleanse, very hard to do, so he spends 1 command point on new orders to draw Defend Stronghold instead.
I go up 10.
The Inquisitor falls back while the Rhino moves to attempt a move block to the home objective to score Defend Stronghold. At the end of the movement phase, he drops his strike squad at the side, and the Purifiers right at the top, able to score him that secret objective.
Let's see if I can get some mileage out of these Purifiers and try and stretch them out and kill as many units as I possibly can. All of the Flamers and all the Storm Bolters are gonna go into your Poxwalkers. And then all of the Purifying Flame ability are gonna go into your Terminators. Let's see if I can blast some Poxwalkers in order to Overwhelming Force you.
He fires onto the Poxwalkers into the rear. Doesn't quite work. No points there.
Let's go with the Psychic Blasts. This is now going into your Blades. I see it.
The last of the Deathshroud Terminators falls, which does score him a little bit of Overwhelming Force points, but he really needed more than that.
Oh, everything's shot. Now I got a chart.
An attempt at an epic charge in the charge phase, and he makes it in, stopping the terraforming, and hopefully for Michael, flipping the objective. But can the Terminators survive?
All right, here we go. Let's go to combat. I'm not gonna charge over here. I'm gonna say, if you want it, you gotta work for it. I have 5 attacks, hitting on 2s.
2 at -2. That is
Hey,
dead dude.
that's it.
The end of turn sees Michael manage to score 5 points for Overwhelming Force, and he's still holding on to Defend Stronghold for another possible 3 at the end of Tycho's turn. He's currently at 50 points. I don't know if Michael can catch up at this point, but that doesn't mean he should stop trying, and that doesn't mean he still can't make this a very close game.
I've still got a lot of assets. I think I can put down the last few models here of Michael's and take this game home.
He draws behind enemy lines and storm hostile, both indicating that he wants to take Michael's home objective.
But I'm gonna make the advance because I want to score the points.
Here we
go. 5, that's not enough. He goes real far, but not far enough.
The rest of the army gets ready to do damage to the rest of the squad.
Before we call it a true game, I do see that the scoreboard is racking up quickly for Tycho. I'm going to go for a moral victory here, and I'm going to eliminate one of the arch traitors, Typhus. We're going to Overwatch Typhus, everyone.
Overwatch!
Overwatch!
Take 2 of them, you're down to 1 wound.
Purifying Flames.
You think you can purify me? Uh-oh, no, you can.
2 up. Oh, just 1. Just 1 at -1.
Just 1.
Here it is.
Command reroll, command reroll, command reroll. Typhus goes down.
Purified.
The psychic flames.
He got purified, everyone.
In the shooting phase, the Plague Burst Crawler damages the Rhino a little bit,
I got 4 wounds remaining on the Rhino.
All right, so I'm gonna barf on your Inquisitor.
No!
and the Great Unclean One brings the Inquisitor down to 1 wound. He's still living, folks.
Hello, Mr. Rhino. Here comes the shot from downtown, the drone. I forgot to give him -1 toughness. Too late now.
Nope, I got 2 remaining.
Well, let's go for the charge. Great Unclean One.
Let's do it.
In the charge phase, the Great Unclean One charges into the Rhino and the Inquisitor. If he can kill both, he can use his consolidation to get points on behind enemy lines.
4 attacks on the Inquisitor and 8 attacks on your king. Can the Great Unclean One go hero mode? Die, Inquisitor! Bop, bop, bop!
5 ups to stifle your plans. There's 1, and
So close. Oh, he's got the reroll.
got the reroll.
Oh, he's got the reroll.
And I've got the reroll.
Oh,
And-
baby.
The Inquisitor survives. The Demon Prince has been stopped.
You know what? Because your tank is so beautiful, I want to make sure
you explode
that
it.
you get rid of your first game curse with it. So I'm going to blow it up right here. Here we go.
That would be mint. 4 up. No.
Yeah!
It's gone.
The Rhino dies. However, the Demon Prince has to stay there because he's in base contact with the Inquisitor. No behind enemy lines. No storm hostile. No secondary points.
I'm gonna first reveal my secret mission, which was War of Attrition.
Okay.
And by killing your battle line plague bearers and having my battle line strike squad in your deployment zone, Tycho, I'm scoring 20 whole victory points.
However, primary scoring happens at the end of turn 5 for the second player, which means Tycho scores another 14 points. Maxing out his primary points, bringing his score to 84. Michael can't score Defend Stronghold, which means we have a final score tally of 84 to 70, 94 to 80 with paint. A really close game, and the secret mission almost made the difference.
With that, the Grey Knights realize their mission has actually been complete.
Right.
They are victorious, no matter what the scoreboard says. And Castellan Crowe goes, "Job well done, boys, let's get out of here."
Hey.
And in the background they hear, "Don't leave me here!"
Wow. What a stellar ending. The secret mission was achieved, but I had too many primary points.
Wonderful game today, Tycho. You did a fantastic job. My Grey Knights were defeated in points in moral victory. They have managed to take back off, emerging from the battlefield. So what, we left some Inquisitor behind. That's not that important.
Thank you so much for playing with me, Michael. I love your Grey Knights. They are some of the best painted Grey Knight models I have ever seen.
I'll make sure the next time Tycho and I meet, we will do battle. I don't even know what I'm saying here.
And of course, a big thank you for watching. If you like what we do, please make sure to like, subscribe, and do all those things that keeps a channel like ours going. Or if you really like what we do, please consider supporting us through YouTube membership or Patreon. You're gonna get some exclusive releases, exclusive live streams, behind the scenes interviews, early access to most of our shows, and access to our Discord, one of the most happening 40K communities around. Another special thanks for Frontline Gaming to sponsoring this episode. The terrain and mat we used today was supplied by them. Go check them out in the description below. You won't be disappointed. And that's all from all of us here at Play On. Thank you for watching, and until we see you next time, take care and play on!